Beef says the Rangers have the wrong coach. Carl says,
I don't think they do.
You haven't even seen him coach yet.
Yeah, but he doesn't like him. That's
God.
fine. He as well as I did, I think the Rangers should have brought in Mark Messier. That was my opinion. I thought Mark Messier, the fans
Mark
would
Messier
have.
should be in the front office.
I think Mark Messier should be the head coach of the New York Rangers. That's just my
Does
opinion.
He want the job?
He did. He wanted the
If
job.
he wants the job, that's different. If he did, I don't know.
He wanted the job for the last 5 years.
And I think he turned down other teams, too, because he
Yep.
really wants the Rangers.
He wanted the Rangers job, and the Rangers interviewed him twice.
To be frank with you, I think it's best for Mark Messier. He didn't get the job. You see how they just treated John Davidson? Get the hell out of here.
Oh, I know. No, I'm not saying the Rangers are a well-run team, but yeah.
Still a tough building to do with the ghost of James
the
Dolan.
New York Rangers. Now that the Knicks are a functioning machine for the first time in 30 years, watch. James Dolan's going to ruin the Rangers now. Watch.
He's not involved with the Rangers.
This has more Dolan-like things to it than Sather.
Well, Glenn Sather is back, and he's helped running that organization.
I understand.
He stepped away
Yes.
all that time, and
I
now
get
he's
it.
come back.
But what I'm trying to tell you is, this mess has a lot of Dolan fingerprints on it. It smells like Dolan. It acts like Dolan. It's probably Dolan.
Carl also brings up Duncan Keith as another great defenseman.
Yeah, and then I know he's the
I think
Chicago
Seabrook was better than
Blackhawk.
Keith.
No.
Duncan Keith is Duncan Keith a Hall of Famer?
That's interesting.
Yes.
That's a tough one. I would say yes. I would say yes, but it is borderline. That is borderline. I would say yes, though.
I don't think it's borderline. He was the anchor defenseman on a bunch of cup teams, and he's been one of the best defensemen in the league.
You really think
Drew
that
Doughty's
he's a Hall of
been
Famer?
freaking good.
Drew Doughty too. Yep.
Drew Doughty's great, but I don't know. I don't know about Duncan Keith.
I would say he's a Hall of Famer, but the thing that has held Keith back from being over Chara is Chara's just had physical dominance for a long time.
There's a lot of great defensemen.
And like Errol say with Ottawa too, before he even went to Boston too. So.
And you haven't even mentioned the best defenseman in the game.
Well, who's the best defenseman in the game?
Hedman, by far, hands down.
Oh
Not
yes,
even close.
Victor Hedman.
Right now, yes.
Yes,
for sure.
absolutely. It's not even a question. And again, I want to see what Victor. And obviously, this team, this Tampa Bay Lightning team, that
they're screwed, man. They're only down to 2 lines now.
I want to see what this team is this year.
2-line teams do not win Stanley Cups, because if 2-line teams would win Stanley Cups, Boston would have won last year. They had the best top 2 lines in the league, and they didn't because they weren't 4 lines deep. 2-line teams don't win. And losing Yanni Gord and Barkley, Coleman, Barkley Goodrow, and losing Coleman and losing all those guys, dude, they're in a lot of trouble.
Beef says huge mistake, should have been Mark. Ben says he turns down other offers hoping to get Rangers job. Beef says huge mistake getting rid of Davidson, and Carl says Chara definitely won.
I would agree with Chara was definitely in the last 21st century. It is Zdeno Chara.
Yeah,
but there's been a lot of good defensive players in the last 21st century in different sports. It's not just we named a bunch of them, but there are a bunch that we have missed. I mean, Ed Reed is another one.
Anderson Simmons.
Palomaro.
Yep.
Palomalo. There were a lot of Aaron Donald. I mean, there are a lot of great Julius Pepper.
Yeah, we didn't even get to pass rushers. Dwight Freeney, Robert Mathis, guys like that. Yeah.
There were a lot of
Marcus
great,
Ware.
a lot of great
Suggs,
defensive players in all these professional sports. And we can go back and forth and argue this. Now, the greatest running back in the 21st century. So, who do you got?
I have easily LaDainian Tomlinson.
This isn't even a question.
LaDainian Tomlinson, for me, I think was the most dominant, both as a runner and a receiver as well.
Yeah.
In terms of the 21st century, I know Marshall Faulk is close when it comes to the stats of the scrimmage yards and all that, but I think LaDainian Tomlinson, in terms of both his numbers and his overall skills, too, he was very elusive, could run inside and outside, great all-around back, and, again, pass-catching back on a team that also had some good receivers on it, too. Obviously, he played with 2 great quarterbacks, so that definitely helps him, but the quarterbacks also could throw the ball down the field, too. So I would give it to LaDainian Tomlinson. I would say Adrian Peterson's a close second, but I'm going to give the slight edge to Tomlinson.
How about you?
It's clearly LaDainian Tomlinson. LaDainian Tomlinson is the greatest running back I've seen live. That man's amazing.
In the 21st century, we're talking about.
Yes. Yeah. From the year 2000 till now, it's absolutely without question LaDainian Tomlinson. He could run you over. He could make you miss. He could catch the ball out of the backfield. He could run a route like a wide receiver. He could block. There's nothing LaDainian Tomlinson could not do.
How about you, Jeff?
I don't know how this answer isn't Zeke Elliott.
Speedy, you laugh at everything. It's really annoying. But go ahead. Honestly, who do you got?
Yeah, no, it's Zeke Elliott. He's amazing. I mean, I just can't believe that a running back like this like that exists in this era. I mean, he's literally better than Barry Sanders.
Honestly, I want to now.
It's Tomlinson, dude. It's Tomlinson or Peterson or it's those guys. It's like it's not maybe Curtis Martin, maybe like
you could say that.
But
it was only 5 years that in the 2000 because he came in 95. So I mean, he had good years from 2000 to 2005. I mean, they were efficient years. He should have won. Honestly, in 2004, he should have won the MVP. I mean, if you look at what he did, he almost had 1,700 yards and 12 touchdowns. He was the face.
Who won MVP?
Was that Michael Vick's year?
Peyton Manning.
Okay.
It was Peyton Manning.
I mean, I could throw another guy in. It was a while ago, but I could throw another guy in. But I don't even know if he's better than Marshall Faulk. But what about Edgerrin James?
Yep.
And even then, I'm only saying that to throw that out there because I don't actually believe he's better than Tomlinson.
How about Frank Gore? You forget about him?
Yeah.
Frank Gore was efficient. Adrian Peterson, sensational. Marshall Faulk. I mean, but Marshall Faulk, it was really at the end of his career.
Mostly in the 90s,
it was at the end of his career, so I wouldn't even put Marshall Faulk.
Like he's the same kind of thing as Tomlinson. Like he was that first great scrimmage back. He could catch passes, run routes, and
he was before his time.
Yeah,
if he would have got drafted right now. Forget about it.
Sure.
He'd break the doors off.
Oh, no question. I'm saying
he'd be the best running back in football by a mile and a half.
If you want to say since he did it first and transcended it, yeah, if you want to argue that, he was still kind of that LaDainian Tomlinson back where he could do everything and run routes like a wide receiver, bumped around with the Colts and the Rams. I personally think Tomlinson was a little better, but not by much. It's that's a very close argument.
How about Chris Johnson?
Yeah, Chris Johnson for the short period of time was very good. He just didn't have the same longevity.
I think it was for 6 years.
Chris Johnson was
tremendous. He was as good as any running back. Mm-hmm. He was just as good as a LaDainian Tomlinson for that 6 years. Mm-hmm. I think he had 2,000 scrimmage yards.
2009.
Yeah, so that's pretty amazing. And Chris Johnson was one of the fastest players we've ever seen. But honestly, the one that really sticks out to me out of all the running backs, and you guys say LaDainian Tomlinson, you can go back and forth, but the guy that really sticks out to me is guys like Marshall Faulk. I mean, not Marshall Faulk. I'm sorry, Marshawn Lynch. Okay. I think Marshawn Lynch in a 6-7 year span, who was better than Marshawn Lynch? I don't think anybody's going to give this guy credit because of obviously what he's done on and off the field. The crazy guy that he is. He retires. He comes back. And also LaShawn McCoy. People also forget about LaShawn McCoy.
Oh, couldn't stand him, but he was phenomenal.
Yeah, but have you ever seen a dude, that was so hated for so long just become such a lovable figure like Marshawn Lynch? It actually, his antics actually became endearing.
I never thought he was hateable. He just did some silly things.
People didn't like him.
Well, then they got to stick up their ass. I thought he was hysterical.
People just didn't. So, yeah. People didn't like him, and that was. And I like Marshawn Lynch because of his Skittles commercials, his personality. Every time he's on a commercial now, the Dorito commercial. Yeah. I mean, he's funny.
You see the video of him telling the mother, your kid ain't no good. My team, I'm gonna. That was hysterical.
And the mom's like,
all right, little Jimmy, come on, pack up. He's like,
What was his best moment?
You're not even mentioning. You're mentioning all that other stuff. His best moment, what he's most known for, is I'm just here so I won't get fined.
Yep.
Well, you know why I'm here. Yeah, listen, I thought it was just hysterical. I thought it was a huge F you to Roger Goodell. And for that alone, I applaud him.
Ben also says LaDainian Tomlinson. Carl says Edgerrin James in the discussion maybe. And Chris Johnson, according to Gus Johnson, had getaway from the cops' speed.
Oh, yeah. I think he had
mostly
the fastest.
Because that's all he did was try to get away from cops.
I think he had the fastest combine.
At the time, he did
40 until what's his name?
John Ross broke it.
John Ross,
2017.
I thought it was still a record though, wasn't it?
No, John Ross broke it in 2017. I think 4.28. I think Chris Johnson was 4.29. He broke it by a little bit.
And what a bust, John Ross.
We all knew that was going to come. He was barely a first-round prospect. Yes, he still is the fastest running back. We all kind of saw that coming. Everyone's going to fall in love with him at the combine. Obviously, the Bengals reached on him 9th overall. He was barely a first-round prospect.
Isn't that ironic, though?
At the time.
Now you look at DK, who was a huge NFL combine sensation, and no one touched him.
Well, they're kind of shying away from that, knowing like the other factors.
There are a lot of guys that like DK Metcalf.
Can I throw another guy in there that was? Can I throw another guy in there that maybe didn't have the longevity but was great for a
Steven
5-year
Jackson?
stretch?
Yes.
Jamaal Charles.
Yep.
Right.
Absolutely.
Priest Holmes. Priest Holmes needs a little bit of respect.
I forgot about Jamaal Charles.
Yeah.
He
Kind
was-
of the same stretch as Chris Johnson.
Priest Holmes was great too.
Yeah. Jamaal Charles, I think.
I would pick Priest Holmes over Jamaal Charles.
Jamaal Charles, I think, when he retired,
Jamaal Charles
was the active leader
You
for yards per
need to look
carry.
at his numbers.
Go ahead, go look at his numbers.
I don't need his numbers. I'm telling you, Priest Holmes had
Bring up Priest Holmes'
like 125 something touchdowns.
Yeah, but Jamaal Charles also was when he retired, I think it was 2015, was the active leader in yards per carry for a whole career for a large enough sample size. I believe it was 4.25, if I remember correctly. All right, so Priest Holmes in his career, 1,780 rushes for 8,172 yards, 86 touchdowns, 4.6 yards a carry. So Charles must have been higher then in that case.
How many games did he play?
He played 113 games. He started 82. He also played with the Ravens for 4 years, too, 97 to 2000 with the Ravens, then 2001 to 2007.
So he only played 113 games?
With the Chiefs, yes. He only played 113 games.
So, Tyler,
years.
you're probably right. Priest Holmes was better all around. Yeah, because Jamaal Charles played
Well, that's why I
100
said it
games.
wasn't like a long period of time, but there was a period of time there where Jamaal Charles was the best running back in football.
Yeah.
It wasn't long, but it was like a
Priest
3-year
Holmes had
stretch.
that same stint.
Right. Yeah, so they're kind of the same thing. Both of them.
What
missed
was
a lot of
Priest
games.
Holmes' best year? What did he have? How many yards?
Oh, his best year was probably 2003. He had 27 touchdowns. He had 1,420 yards, averaged 4.4 yards a carry. Also had 690 receiving
I
yards.
forgot that year he had
74
27 touchdowns that
yeah.
year.
Before that, he had 21.
And the year before that, he had 21. 313 carries, 16,
And he came out of
15
nowhere.
yards.
He was like a
Right, and the Ravens
sixth-round
gave up
draft
on
pick
him.
or something.
Right.
He played with the Ravens for 4 years when Jamaal Lewis was already there and Ernest Biner was there. They had a lot of different.
I wonder how Baltimore. Jamal Lewis is in that conversation too. Jamal Lewis had, I think, one of the most.
Jamal Lewis also had I forget. I think
running back
his first year
ever
with
had.
Cleveland too was actually pretty
He
good.
ran
too.
for what 2000? He's top 5 all time.
10,607 rushing yards, 58 touchdowns.
That year, right?
Literally playing the 2000s, 2000 to 2009.
No, Sean Alexander was good with Seattle.
Sean
but-
Alexander's up there.
Yeah,
too,
but I was never a big fan of Sean Alexander, and he never played good in the clutch. Never did. Never.
Jerome Bettis.
They didn't Seattle go to the Super Bowl?
Yep, 06, they lost to the Steelers.
Yes. And Sean Alexander played well, like in 2 out of the 4 games.
Yeah, he
going
played well,
on.
I think, against the Panthers in the NFC Championship game, but then he struggled in the Super Bowl. I mean, granted, it's a tough Steelers defense.
Right.
I love Clinton Portis.
That was Clinton Portis, another one too. You could definitely.
He's in
put
a lot
there.
of trouble right now.
Yeah, that whole health benefits fraud that hit. It was him,
scandal.
Robert Spillane, and someone else. Yeah,
That could be a felony on his name.
Yeah, he took away.
Could be a felony. It is a felony. It's wire fraud, bro. He's facing 20 years, dude.
Yeah,
I didn't know it was 20 years. but
the court case is still ongoing right now. But for what it's discovered, he's a 6-figure
you think
money
he's
amount.
going to get out of it?
I don't know.
Nah,
because
I hope he put that
he
money
also went
towards
broke
lawyer.
too.
Was it the amount of money they took, like $12 to $15 million or something?
Not
like
with
that?
him. I think it was $90,000.
Spillane had the most. I know that.
I think his was $90,000.
His was close to $1 million. I think his was something in the $750,000 range. Robert Spillane.
I'm talking about Clinton Portis.
Clinton Portis,
I think it was
more in the 200,000.
I heard it was
range.
like 95,000.
Okay. Yeah, Clinton Portis, I think, was the least of the 3. Spillane was the mastermind, from what people were reading on that whole operation. I forget who the third player was. He was a receiver who I think played for the Chargers. But
You know what we're forgetting about? How dare us not mention Tiki Barber's name during this conversation either?
Because I don't think he was an elite running back in the 21st century.
He was solid.
He was solid, but it wasn't elite.
He should be a borderline Hall of Famer. But
No.
But
Not
But-
long. He didn't play long enough to be a Hall of Famer.
Certainly made it
97-06.
into the Buccaneers Ring of Honor.
97-06, had
It's not long enough.
10,449 yards, 55 touchdowns.
I guarantee you there are running backs in the Hall of Fame that have less yards.
No. How many yards did he have?
10,449 yards, 55 rushing touchdowns. He played
Dual back.
154 games. Yes, was a very good dual back. 719 receiving yards, was his best
Good
receiving yard
blocking
year.
running back, too.
609 the
As
year
soon as he
before.
retired, they won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I know, and that's going to be the caveat. That's why he will not get in. If he doesn't get in, that'll be why.
Yeah, Ben
I think
also
we're
says-
all overlooking James White too. What a Super Bowl that was!
Yeah,
Errol and I both said he should have been MVP. I remember that.
yeah, no, he had a hell of a game.
He was the most consistent player that
He
whole
had 3
game.
touchdowns in that game.
13
Or
catches.
LeGarrette Blount. You don't smoke the Blount. The Blount smokes you.